2026, in fact, March has been quite a tough road for us, at least. Although mobile gaming's been as vivid as always as the new year brought some of the best mobile games ever made. And some of the most realistic as well. Hello friends, this is Mobile, glad to be back, and here's top 20 must-play mobile games of March 2026.
We'll rebuild.
You're Division, aren't you? Where were you? You were supposed to protect us, damn it!
So first of all, this has been a pretty long time coming, at least worth a quick mention, since Division Resurgence is now finally set to launch at the end of the month on 31st. And not only it's going to be free to play on Android and iOS, but we've got another gameplay update trailer for it. We're hoping it'll leave its mark as a finished product, considering it's been in the beta phase for almost a decade now. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe not. Either way, it's just a few days away from the global scene, and March just got way more hype because of this piece of news. Resurgence as a standalone campaign, a free roam version of the New York to explore, co-op, PvP, and an awesome tactical gameplay inspired by Tom Clancy's works. Now guys, with that being said, the 7 Deadly Sins region dropped its official global version, and since a couple of weeks ago, the anime world's not been the same. It's an open world RPG that's almost as big as it can come. Tons of places to just climb, glide, poke around for secrets. Like, the movement is very Breath of the Wild style, with the climbing, swinging, gliding, and even riding Hawk around. On top of that, the combats are pretty flashy and simple, high production value all around. Very fun to explore, tough enemies can feel a bit basic, yet the combat is tag-based, exploration actually matters, and co-op boss fights are just built for multiplayer. Highly recommend it. If you can't play the game right now, wait just a few more days. If not, on March 31st, you're going to be able to play it on the Apple Store on April 4th. Now guys, Final Fantasy Dissidia pulled up on the Apple Store just a few more days away from the Play Store, and it's just simply switching things up in a pretty big way. It's a 3v3 action RPG, sort of a team boss battle arena game with your favorite Final Fantasy legends thrown into a modern day Tokyo. We're talking Cloud, Lightning, Sephiroth, the whole squad fighting monsters in the middle of the city like it's just another Tuesday. It's a PvP versus environment, so like you're gonna be fighting enemies while racing another team to take down the final boss and get the rewards. Strategy matters, timing matters, the character interactions are just pure fan service energy right now. If you're a Final Fantasy fan, this one's an absolute must. Speaking of realistic games, well, Oceanhorn 3 might take the case in the list, as it's legitimately the most realistic, high-quality adventure game we've had almost ever played on a phone. Pretty fun game, funny at times, runs smoothly and has some out-of-the-world graphics, super polished game, no jank whatsoever. It's almost better than expected from the trailer, and the story picks up about 1,000 years after the events of the Oceanhorn 3. There's a new era, accompanied by this new character, M, which is the infamous techno-pirate and her crew of Warlock's Revenge. The sound design is excellent, voice acting is crisp, the music is charming all around. Oceanhorn 3, I'd say, is superb as it is right now. Hopefully, it'll make its way to Android sometime soon. Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 creeped onto Android earlier this month as well and made things way more intense. First of all, the game's optimized so you can take the scares anywhere you want, and hopefully if you've been following the story, this is the continuation you've been waiting for. So no better time to step in with your monsters, your puzzles, and that slow burn, tension, all that. It might just be the best entry yet because it's got some fresh mechanics, great puzzles, engaging narrative. It takes both the characters and the story to new heights. Great replay value. It's a demo, it's playable for free right now. On another hand, we've got the game Hellguard. It's out now globally, finally. If you're into dark fantasy MMORPGs, well, this one goes pretty hard. And we're talking grim medieval vibes, demons splitting dimensions like Diablo, ancient seals, break in, you stepping up as a legit Hell Guardian. There's no autoplay here, no, tap and watch sort of nonsense. This is full skill-based combat with real builds, real talent trees, and heroes that actually feel different. You've got co-op raids, PvE dungeon crawls, arena PvP, full-scale battles, the whole package. If you want dark, gritty action, heavy MMORPG energy on mobile, this is it. The full game is available now on Android, coming out to iOS soon. The almost decade-old indie horror game Among the Sleep is now finally out on Android. Personally, one of my favorite games when it comes to horrors, and if you're looking for something just short with a great story, I would definitely recommend this whole thing. It's almost like a, Amnesia, the game, The Dark Descent, but it's, with a baby version. To some extent, sort of proof the horror games can be smart and pretty emotional. You're a toddler in this game. The world just feels too much, warped, wrong, tables look big because you're a baby. It's not the boo type of horror, it's that deep, uncomfortable fear of just not understanding what's going on as a baby. I mean, the childhood confusion where everything just feels bigger than you, literally and emotional. Rainbow Six Mobile just dropped worldwide, and boy, it's a proper mobile first-person shooter. Ubisoft brought Siege operator-based strategy shooting all the way to Android, and it's actually working pretty good. Drones, cameras, post-death mode, all that tactical jazz, the controls are smooth, control support is at instant, battery drain is pretty minimal, map like in a bomb mode and keep you thinking, 3v3 and side modes feel a bit different. Ubisoft actually promised to fill in with updates, refinements and more content as we go further. New maps, weapons, all that with just one downside, which is a rather pretty expensive season pass. Anyway, it's a free game on Android, taking you 6 GB of storage and of course plays online as well. Subnautica Mobile, might as well be one of the mightiest PC to mobile ports we've ever had hands on since, PC to mobile ports, started to become a thing. Subnautica Below Zero, the next chapter, is basically the base game with a frozen new twist. You're chasing your sister through the ice world and an alien terrain, poking around, resource gathering and building to survive. There's new tools, vehicles, fully voice actors and characters. There is a heat management that adds, a lot of more tension, more pressure, but thankfully, there's some lighter scares compared to the first game. The survival loop's the same, mobile runs buttery smooth, the visuals look amazing, and the sound design is just a perfect mix of chill and creepy. Now, on another hand, we have Tamamian Squad, sitting on both stores. I'm not really sure, where this game even came from, but it's definitely hitting way above its weight. I mean, let me just say it's actually a spin-off of a 5-year-old RPG called Action Timeman, and it's actually pretty well made as well. This one's actually quite a bit like Genshin Impact. It's a turn-based RPG where the real fun kicks in with the character bonds, because unlocking, special different episodes aren't just for the fan service, it's by getting that extra edge in battles. If Genshin Impact style made you feel some type of way, this might scratch the same itch with extra spice on top, if you catch the drift. This took only 8 years, but still worth a check if you were rooting for a console quality sort of racer, because we've got Rise Race the Future on Android today. The graphics, the driving mechanics, the tracks, the vehicles, and the playtime are all pretty good. The game is fun to play and challenging enough to keep you coming back for more, even if you just normally don't get into racing games. Rise is a pretty decent one to be in your library if you get it for free. I'd say if you're looking for a little fun within short bursts from time to time, well, Rise Race the Future is that spot. Overall, pretty fun arcade racer with controller support. It's a ton of content. Sitting on the Player Store as the third most grossing game of 2026 right now. We've been meaning to talk about this one for a week. We're happy to report now it's got potential. Yeah, Star Savior is definitely inspired by the same old turn-based anime RPG formula, but it's got some uniqueness to it. The game mechanics, the characters, especially the story, pretty generous with its rewards actually. It definitely needs to be optimized better, gets heavy and hot pretty fast after like 10 minutes of gaming, maybe a better graphical and render option, but overall we highly recommend it if you're like in need of a pretty decent turn-based RPG on the go. It's a big game, takes you almost 12 gigabytes. Now, realistic or not, we've got Tomb Raiders 1 through 3 remastered on Android and iOS right now. Offline, controller support friendly, just packed to the brim with content and nostalgia. You see the original 3 Tomb Raider adventure games for the first time ever, with all the expansions and the secret levels on a phone in a definitive edition. Although this actually takes you a whopping $10, but it comes in with more bonus content than you can imagine, you know, a new challenge mode, photo mode, mobile controls, a decent optimization. The touch control is pretty fine, but we highly recommend the controller like the old times. Runs pretty smooth, you can always switch between HD and the classic. Highly recommend it even if you actually haven't played the original game back on PlayStation 1 or your PC. Sound of Horses is a legitimately calm, story-driven horseback adventure with the mission to create your own piece of the open landscape. This game's journey begins in episode 1, Homeland, where daily life, writing challenges, and small mysteries slowly build into a deeper story. You can play the first 3 days for free, explore around, meeting folks, learning the world, and unlike the rest of the episodes, it let you continue the story up to 10 days, with around 6 to 7 hours of gameplay. It's free to play, of course. Future episodes will expand, developers said, taking you to new lands, cultures, and even a parallel world. It's an offline game as well. Not just one, we've got another open world horse riding game, and this one's even cuter. Barbie Rescue is a pretty relaxing adventure game set in a pretty big open world sort of valley, where you just spend most of your time riding around, rescuing wild horses, bringing them back to your ranch, and slowly building up your stable. And once you rescue them, you can brush them, feed them, train them for riding challenges and time trials. There's also a light story going on about why the horses are roaming free in the first place. And on top of that, you can customize outfits, tracks, gear. It's just a pretty chilled horse riding sim, especially if you're into Barbies, I guess, as well. Parasite Z, which I'm pretty sure we mentioned before, is one of the most classic survival horror games released on Android, and it's actually inspired by Resident Evil games, only rebuilt for mobile with Unreal Engine 5, which is just amazing. It's a free game, it's a demo, it's a little big, of course it's about 3 gigabytes in total. The story is you wake up inside this massive abandoned prison where this parasite outbreak has turned folks and inmates, guards into monsters. The ammo is currency, inventory space is limited, every corner feels dangerous. You can explore cell blocks, infirmaries, execution halls, and uncover the truth behind this whole failed experiment sort of thing. You play a detective here and a lawyer also, whose story unravels as you push through the story. It's not about the action in this game, it's about surviving. Well, look guys, number 17 will have Katana Masters, which is actually one of those fighting games that feels simple at first, but the more you play it, the more you realize it's really about timing and precision and getting good. Pretty fast game, quite tense, usually decided in just a few clean hits, almost a one-hit kill sort of fighting game. The story is you're a wandering Ronins fighting through opponents while climbing the PvP ranks. Most of the fun here comes from real-time duels against other players, while learning combos, spacing, and counter moves matter the most. There's also a good amount of customization, different armor, katanas, and gears to tweak for your fighter. I don't know, if you enjoy skill-based sword duels, well, this one's pretty satisfying. Up and coming at number 18, we have Stone Age Idle Adventures, which brings Netmarble's classic prehistoric series back, this time as a laid-back idle RPG on mobile. Story here is you're dropped into the wild world of cavemen, dinosaurs, and giant prehistoric beasts that roam everywhere, and the main focus is collecting and raising a huge lineup of just pits. The battles can get surprisingly chaotic, letting you run up to 6 trainers, throw down with 18 different pits, all fighting at once. Like any other good idle game, your team keeps progressing and earning rewards even when you are offline. The game still carries a charm longtime fans will recognize, but the idle mechanics can make it really easy to jump in. Jump in, build a squad, and keep things moving. On another hand, we have FIFA Heroes on the list, which is, if you're in need of a sport game, a good one. Not maybe our proudest mention, personally not into sport games, but a halfway decent football game with a bunch of modes to keep you busy for maybe weeks. Pretty easy to pick up, hard to master of course, simple touch controls and some depth of combos, team strategy, and power timing to make it feel competitive. But mostly just 5v5 matches of 1.5 minutes and a lot of hype. Number 20, we have the game Ball X Pits, finally in Android and iOS, and it's honestly a absolute thrill ride, this game. It's Rogue meets Brick Breaker and Bullet Hell, all layered with base building and loot hunting. Pretty intense, smart, fast-paced, every run feels different, with new treasures, characters, and of course balls to unlock, keeping you constantly engaged. The controls are tight, action never slows, the game sort of nails the just one more run feeling to it, and offline mode means you can dive in anywhere without any compromise. Check it out if you want a game that's strategic and chaotic. Well, Ball Pits is almost a no-brainer. And yeah, maybe not the most realistic kind of game here, but sometimes it's not about the graphics, but the quality of the content. And this one is a very chill business sim where you build and manage your own supermarket like almost no other game. Like there's no tomorrow. You're smart with just a tiny little store, expanded into a shopping center, organizing shelves yourself, ordering, keeping customers happy. The big twist is that it's a pet-friendly store, meaning shoppers can bring their own pets and cats along inside the store. You're going to be hiring staff, managing, and designing the layout to maximize the profits. And if you manage everything well, your little shop can grow into the best one in town. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. I'll see you again tomorrow.